Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today we are at the bench in the kitchen in front of the window, enjoying a lovely spring rain. It has been thundering and lightning a little bit, which has, that's not something we've had for quite a while through the winter. So I did my walk this morning and got rained on and pretty wet, but it's okay. It was good to get the walk in, and I actually ran for a little bit on the way back because I was tired of being wet and ready to get home and get dry. So anyway, I am here today to share with you my March setup in my Unbound Planner. And I have laid out some of the supplies that I used. I think this is just about everything. So as usual, I've still been enjoying my friction pens. So I have those in black, this kind of light aqua color, a dark navy, purple, and then I also really like using the mild liner markers. So I have the one that has a chisel tip and then the brush tip, and they both have finer tip on the opposite side. The brush tip marker has the finest tip on the end. I'll show you that real quick. So this one, if you can see that, it's fairly fine as compared to this one, which is a little bit more blunt. It's kind of hard to see when you compare them, but when you write with them, this one's just a little bit softer, and the brush tip one, this one is a little bit more of a firm tip, so it keeps a finer line. And then I just wanted to show, I've mentioned it before, I buy the refills for the friction pens, so that way I don't have to keep buying pens. I just buy the refills. And I have been enjoying using a finer tip in this Unbound Planner because it is squeezing a lot onto each page, and it just kind of helps me feel like there's not so much going on and it's a little more negative space when I use the finer tip. So most of them, when you buy them, they come with the 0.7 millimeter tip. So that's going to be like what this one is here. You can see that. And then when I started buying refills, I discovered you can get these 0.4 millimeter tips, and those look like this. So it's a very fine tip compared to what you normally get. And you can see when I show you the pages in my book, the writing. It's a very fine line, so it works well for, like I said, if you have a lot, you're trying to squeeze into a small space. So I will set all these aside. I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll talk a little bit about the color schemes in just a minute. And as you know, I use the Louise Hay Colors and Numbers book, and I use this to help me do a couple of things. One, it just sort of gives me an affirmation and a thought for the day as far as how the energy might feel to me or how things might go, and I use it to help decide my wardrobe. So I'll link the video below, but I kind of explained in the video, I basically have 7 days worth of my outfits all laid out in my closet. Every morning I just look at the calendar and look to see what color I would be wearing a week from now. So like today is Monday, so when I get dressed on Monday morning, I look ahead and choose my outfit for the next week, Monday. And it's based off the colors and numbers system. And then I also use this to help me decide not only my word for the year, so I use this to determine my personal number for the year for 2020 and what that translates to as a personal number is for me. I'll go ahead and show you that. There it is. So for me, it's a personal year 3, and this just kind of talks about it and gives me the affirmation to go with it. But then I also use that to decide my personal number for the month, which again then gives me the color scheme to go with. So that's how I came up with the navy for the month of March, because it's a 6-month for me. And then the other sticker book. The other book I have here is the Happy Planner Household Manager sticker book. I was really kind of getting into stickers more when I was still using my bullet journal, just as a way to sort of change things up and make it exciting again. And I haven't used as many stickers so far in my Unbound Planner, but I was feeling kind of bored and wanted to change things up, so I got these out and I started using this meal plan sticker sheet here. These are kind of nice and they fit well in the weekly layouts, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I also grabbed, I think I have a couple left in here yet. There's a menu planning page. So this weekly menu fits well also on the Unbound Planners section where they already have the menu planning. And so I've used those a couple of times for February just to, again, change it up, make it a little exciting. And then the other thing I've been enjoying about this book is these kind of recurring task symbols. So I haven't used any of those because they're not something I feel like I need a sticker for. We don't have pets, but where is it? I guess this is the first one. So I use this sticker on our family calendar that hangs in the kitchen. I use these trash stickers for just a reminder to take the trash out every Sunday. It gets picked up Monday morning. And then there were recycling symbols here. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that I'd used them all up, but I used those as well. And then I think I did put a few trash stickers in my Unbound Planner. The scale of these is a little bit large for the Unbound Planner, but you know, sometimes you just feel like, well, I've got the stickers, I might as well use them. That's where I was. So, all right, so setting those aside, now we'll kind of jump into the planner here. I think you can see everything pretty well. And so like I mentioned, I did my layout previously. I'll link the video below. You can just see the general layout and how I set this up and the tabs that I used and all that. I do like having this little table of contents, and I've been trying to go through and just add in things as I create them in the planner, especially if they're a little bit different use. Like my Fly Lady tracker is the seasonal list, and I'll show you that as well. Actually, let's go ahead and flip to that because I forgot to show this in my last monthly setup, but I wanted to share it with you. So it came with the 4 seasons, I believe. Yes. So these were 4 sections, and it said spring, summer, fall, winter. And I decided to use this for the 5 zones in the Fly Lady system. And then I just kind of boxed out this section here for the 5th zone. These stickers all come from the Fly Lady sticker sheet. You can go on her website, flylady.net, and purchase those. And I trimmed them down to fit. And then I decided to add my home projects list here. So these are just things kind of on the someday maybe future list. And then I did feel like after I was kind of going through and planning things that I needed somewhere to put some seasonal, mostly outdoor tasks, things that aren't really a zone cleaning necessarily, but they're just things that need to happen once every quarter or so outside in our landscaping and property. So I've started adding those there. And then we can go ahead and jump into the March setup. And I think that's, yeah, okay, whoops. So there's March. So for March, like I mentioned, it's a number 6 in the personal numbers, colors and numbers system for me. So that's a navy color. And the mild liner navy is a nice color, but when I was trying it out as far as highlighting over some of the text, it was a little too dark to read their text because their text is kind of a light gray color. So I've kept this pretty simple then and really just used it for outlining and of course labeling my zones. But other than that, I didn't get quite as involved in decorating. And so this kind of overview calendar page, I'll go through and just add appointments as we go through the month. You know, I kind of set it up ahead of time, and then as we go through, I keep adding to it. Sometimes I put our reoccurring tasks like the trash pickup on here. Not always. Sometimes I just do that on the weekly layout pages. Last month and January, I went through and filled out these first 3 prompts ahead of time. And I just recently went to the February page and started looking at these last 3 prompts. So the first 3 are looking forward to, craving or feeling inspired by, and biggest challenges to overcome. And then the second 3 are successes and highlights, lessons learned or to improve, and need to let go of. So I feel like these 3 are kind of future planning, and these are sort of after the fact. And then we move into the March monthly planning page. And I like how the Unbound Planner has this system set up. So you get this layout for both the month and the week. And I have used my, reused, I guess, my weekly tabs. I created these back, I guess, last year in one of my bullet journals. I was labeling each week of the month, and it was just handy to know, you know, when I was trying to flip through things, it was handy to be able to just jump to that week. So they're just on the Post-it removable sticky tabs, and then I use my label maker to print the numbers on there, and they've worked well. I kind of need to redo the one because it's getting kind of worn out, but I like having these, and because they were just that Post-it removable tab, I could reuse them in here, which works well. So I've just been moving them through to the next month as I get to the end of a month. So this is where I put my number 6 personal month information. So the keyword for number 6 month is responsibility, and it just talks about it's time for your home, your family, your community, and friends. Make your home the center of your life. Be responsible, fair, and just. Be of service and accept your duties willingly. Take care of all your personal belongings, people, places, and things. Make music a big part of your life. Do all your entertaining at home. Set your standards and keep them. Complete whatever you start. Maintain rhythm and harmony in your life. And anything you do for the benefit of the group is good. Be the counselor. Give assistance whenever it is needed. This is a deeply satisfying month. So that all sounds great and aligns with how I'm feeling going into the month of March. And the affirmation is, I accept my responsibilities with love and joy, which is another nice sentiment. So I will go through probably the biggest item I need to put in here for my priorities is to finalize our tax paperwork and get that sent off to our accountant to get our taxes filed. Yeah, so I just go through, and the thing that's kind of nice about this planner is they already fill in some of these reminders about reviewing your goals, so that you keep those front of mind. And I have found that really helpful because in the freedom and flexibility of a bullet journal, I found there were different times when I would go through and do a lot of goal planning or setting of goals, but there was no checks and balances to remind myself to go back and review them, even, you know, quarterly or biannually. There was just, it was up to me to remember to do that. And if I didn't think ahead to put something, you know, in my task list for a month, then those kinds of things got forgotten, and then it feels like you're not making any progress on your goals. And I have found this has made me go back and relook at my goals and what I wrote down that was important to me and what I was trying to make better in my life. And, you know, some things I've kind of reevaluated or tweaked the goal a little bit. Other things I've just decided I think I'm okay and I can kind of let go of that goal. But it helps me to go back and look and then add any tasks in that would be part of those goals that I'm trying to improve upon. So like one of the things I'm still trying to work on getting better at is menu planning. And I would say for February, I've done well some weeks, and then other weeks it just seemed like we had a lot of leftovers, and so I didn't really do much cooking, and I felt like there wasn't really any need to menu plan because I was just making, you know, reheating leftovers, that kind of thing. But this small section for gifts and occasions has worked out well. I typically don't have more than 4 events or occasions in a month. So like birthdays, weddings, you know, baby showers, that kind of thing. I haven't used these 6 sections as much. I did the first month in January. For February, I kind of felt I wasn't very inspired to put anything down, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use them or not for March. So they are ideas this month to be creative, help others, be connected, be healthy, take care of myself, and have fun. And they all sound good. I just found in January I filled it all out with some ideas and then only did 1 or 2 of them. So I don't know whether I just need to be more mindful about adding those into my weekly task list so that I'm getting them accomplished, or maybe that doesn't matter if I accomplish them. If they're just ideas, then I just go to them when I have time and want to do something. I'm not sure. So if you're using the Unbound Planner, jot some notes in the comments below and let me know if you use this section or how you use it, if you found it helpful or not, because I think it's a nice idea. I just haven't seemed to implement it into my planning process enough to where it feels like it's worth filling it out, I guess. All right, so then we move on to the first week. And I was thinking about, I'll kind of backtrack a little bit here. So at Mass on Sunday, I was thinking about just Lent, you know, starting up, and this coming Wednesday it's starting, and what I wanted to do. So these are some things I jotted down, just, you know, things I want to improve upon, things I want to make better about my daily habits, things I want to let go of. And I debated about putting them on a separate tracker and doing like the whole 40 days of Lent on a tracker, which I have done that before in my bullet journal. But I felt like there were a lot of items to do on a tracker for a whole, you know, 40-day period. And I really like how the Unbound Planner has these weekly setups, and I wanted to just keep focusing on using these weekly pages. So I decided to just kind of combine things and condense things and squeeze them all into my daily habits tracker for each week. And for these first three, I just basically made it 2 tasks per line, and then I divided the circle in half so I can check off each of those things. And some of them are just part of my normal daily routine anyway, and then I'm trying to add in just a few more, you know, things about having some prayer at different points in the day to kind of stop and slow down and think and be grateful. You know, I really could do much better with my habit, my healthy eating and habits as far as food goes. So I'm adding this in as a Lenten goal of mine. And then what else? I've been trying to do better about reading, but I find that I get caught up doing little games on my phone, and then, you know, I think I'm going to do it for 1 game or 5 minutes and it turns into 30 minutes. So I'm giving that up for Lent and really making it a priority to read. And yeah, just trying to keep up with our bedtime routine. We still don't do it perfectly every week. You know, if we do 2 or 3 nights kind of more as I hope to do it, then that's great. But life always happens, so it's the goal, and we just keep working toward it, and that's okay. And then, as I mentioned before, so they have this section divided into bigger tasks and easy tasks, and I use the easy tasks as a list of things that take 15 minutes or less. Bigger tasks or projects or anything that takes more time than that, and it has worked well. I did this in the last week or two. So the week's priorities, I've decided to really make that projects and things that have multiple tasks, because I found I was kind of forgetting to go up here and look at that. So if I make it a project and then break it down into the tasks required to complete the project and assign those to either list, that seems to help me stay on top of it and not just forget it altogether. And then I've also added in, you know, my menu planning. That's been continuing on as one of my goals for the year, but I want to get back into cooking healthy dinners for our meals. So I've added that. That's kind of part of my Lenten improvements I'm working on. And as far as eating healthy, just making salads, excuse me, for my lunches. If I have them prepped ahead of time, even a couple of days in advance, I always do better and eat them. If I don't, then I somehow can't seem to manage to make a salad, and I just eat junk or random stuff, and I don't feel like it's as healthy of a lunch. So, and then email inbox to 0 is just a goal for this week that I want to work on. And well, I guess for next week, but at the start of the month. And I use the STEP program. So if you're familiar with that, they have like a whole system on how to get your email inbox to 0. So it's not about like actually handling every email, it's just about grouping things. So, okay. And then I went through and added in my zone cleaning tasks into this list. And I don't know that I'll get through all these. I kind of look at them and see how much time I have and what I can get done. And whatever I get done, then it just gets checked off on my zone cleaning list at the front. And whatever I don't get done, then I see that next month, and that might be the thing I try to focus on more. Erin's list and contacts list just goes in with that getting things done system, where you have specific places to write those things to remind you as you go through the week. And then I've been enjoying having this notes section up here. What I've tended to use it for is, you know, if I have a meeting and I need to just jot some notes for the meeting or a phone call, this has been a really good place to just know there's always that notes page that goes with the week, and I can go back to that as a reference if I'm looking for something, or as I'm doing things, if I know I need to jot something down, I feel confident that if I put it here, that's a good spot and I can find it back again. And then, so this is how I've used that meal plan sticker this time around. I just tried doing adding kind of the color box and then putting the sticker on top, and it's shiny and silver, which is fun. I write in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't always fill it out. You know, usually it's dinners that I'm really focused on trying to just plan ahead. And then sometimes I've gone through written in breakfast ideas, but then I don't ever really reference it in the morning, and I just kind of wing it. So, you know, it just depends on if I feel like I want to be super organized. But if I'm not even looking at it, then I don't know how much good it really does me. But oh, and I just realized I forgot to finish blocking out these gratitude boxes, but some weeks when I get busy, I kind of forget about filling these gratitude boxes out, and I really do like having a daily gratitude time. So it seems if I color those in and make it kind of stand out a little bit more, then that helps me remember to do that. And I like to just kind of decorate and color in the circles with the same color. And I mentioned before, I use the larger number stickers from this Household Manager. Oh no, it's not from this. Shoot, I'll have to go grab it. There's another Happy Planner book that's like calendar pages, I think. Hold on, I'll go get it. Here it is. So it's the Happy Planner Memory Keeping sticker book, and it's dates and holidays. And so it has, besides these cute, you know, checklists and stuff like that, this is what has been helpful, is these clear number stickers, because they just help these numbers stand out to me a little bit more. And I also need to go in and then add my daily numbers from my Louise Hay book in here. I like to have those listed. Again, it just helps with my wardrobe planning and kind of gives me a focus for the day. So that's all I have laid out so far. Sometimes I go in and lay out a couple weeks ahead of time, and other times I don't. I've really liked having this whole year in the planner. That's been helpful just for things like this. You know, I got an invitation to my cousin's baby shower like 2 weeks ago, and to be able to go in and just write it on that day and know that it's written and I'm not going to forget it, it's a helpful thing for me to be able to plan and not worry too much about setting things up, and it's just all set up and all I have to do is decorate and use it. So that is my March setup in my Unbound Planner. So you have to let me know down below if you're using a bullet journal and any of these layouts or spreads seem like they could work in your bullet journal, or if you're using an Unbound Planner or something else, maybe an Erin Condren or something, but just kind of how it compares and what you like about what you're using. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that was helpful and gave you maybe some ideas and inspiration, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. I'm going to be recording another one of my DOC series, that's Declutter, Organize, and Clean. So if you're following along, then you might have seen a few of those. I think I'm up to number 4, and I got the idea from Sophia on My Great Challenge. And then I also have some Jordan Essentials items to unbox for you, and they're all part of the new spring and summer catalog. So those will be up, that video will be up soon on my YouTube channel as well. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and you can click the notification bell so you can find out when I upload again. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll list all the materials in the description down below, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.